Welcome, race fans, to the 2016 New South Wales Formula V State Championship, supported by Pace HDD. Round 1, Race 3, Wakefield Park.
So we're here at Wakefield Park, and Pace Horizontal Directional Drilling is proud to be sponsoring Round 1 with the New South Wales CAM State Championship for Formula V. Pace Drilling has been in business now for about 12 years, and we specialise in horizontal directional drilling for the installation of underground services. And we work with Endeavour Energy, Sydney Water and other utility companies.
Yeah, great to have Simon Pace on board. Thank you very much to him for that. It's also a round of the National Championship as we get ready for the decider. Reynolds against Glover, away we go. And again, it's Glover who got the jump.
Off pole position of winning race 2 this morning.
That's exactly right. And Ryan Reynolds, of course, winning the opener yesterday. Those two are now at locking horns.
Kinsella in 3rd, Thomas 4th. That's Craig Sparks 5th, followed by Jimmy Horn and... lost that last one.
To try and determine who will win the round, of course, between Reynolds and Glover.
It was Steiny, that other car.
Well. Steiny, of course, come through from the back of the grid this morning after crashing out in race 1 yesterday.
Reynolds looking very racy right from the start here. On board with Stephen Butcher.
This is a replay of the start now. Butcher.
Simon Pace on his right up the head.
Let's have a look at this.
Oh, poor start by Butcher.
Very poor start. He's going to hold up poorer. Into the dirt he goes.
There's Johnny Mack up the inside. Butcher had a poor start, tried to go defensive, and he's taken a tap.
Dear, oh dear. We saw some dirt flying whilst the cars
there's
were coming
Jeff Bathingway, the winner of the 1200 races.
We had no idea who it was, and now we're on board there, of course.
Butcher coming up ahead. I think that's on board with Michael Cook there. There's the 1200 cars in front with Wayne Hamilton as well. And here comes Reynolds up the inside of... Oh, he was going to have a look at Kieran Glover, wasn't he?
He's going to the outside. That won't work at the fishhook.
Oh, Thomas pretty wide entry as well.
Out of the fishhook they go. Full field of Formula V cars at Wakefield Park. The opening round of the National and the State Series for 2016.
Okay. That was coming through. Just also to keep note here, Kieran Glover can't actually... Reynolds up the inside of Glover. Kieran Glover, he's not scoring points for the New South Wales State Championship, but he is for the National Series. So, in essence, Kinsella running 3rd on the track is actually 2nd in the State Championship race, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly right. So, does that mean... Just to clarify for our viewers, does that mean he'll get the points for 2nd?
Yes, yeah, correct. So, Michael Kinsella will be on 2nd. This is Stephen Butcher up the inside of Willie Pym, I believe.
Loving our new on-look graphics as well from
there he
Butcher's.
Is, on board Willie.
Yep, off the inside there went Butcher on Pym and back to the main straight.
Wayne Hamilton and Lee Porter ahead of him with the ex-Bathingway Jacer.
Look at the toe that Butcher got as well off the turn 10 there as Glover goes to the outside of Reynolds. Reynolds will hold on to the inside. Willie holding. Yes, he'll get him back just.
Oh, runs him
and
wide.
He run him a little bit wide. That
Thomas
might allow Thomas
and
Kinsella to have a crack as well. But they'll stay line astern and status quo as they get to the top of the hill once more. To the field, they get through cleanly too.
Yeah, car length back to Jimmy Horn. Actually, he's made a bit of space up across the top there. And then a car length back to... Oh, who's this? That's Simon Pace having a look up the inside of Craig Sparks with Steiny just behind him. Oh, on the grass. Who's that? That's Butcher, again.
Having another off. He's had an off day, Butcher.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He's been really strong all weekend. So it's a shame for him. He's not doing too well there.
The spearhead of the CXC Team Stinger operation, of course, as they come down to turn 10 once more. Reynolds leads. 2 car lengths to Glover. A car length and a half back to Kinsella. This is how we like our Formula V racing.
Oh, Horny all over Thomas.
It's Thomas, I should say, in front of Kinsella. And then, of course, you go back to Thomas and Horny as well.
Yeah, excellent work there. Here comes Butcher here now. He's running wide again there, Butcher. Followed by Lee Porter, Willie Pym. And then this is the 1200 fields with there's Bernie Cannon. Defensive line, all the V's run straight to the inside of the track here to play defensive. So nowhere for anyone to go through here. Oh, Horny up the inside of Thomas late.
Great move from Horn.
Thomas back.
Thomas has got him back as they have headed up over the top of the hill, but the battle remains between Glover and Reynolds.
Lost some time to the group in front.
Steiny up on the inside.
Of Spark.
Got Spark. They've both got on Pace as well, so Pace has lost a couple of spots. So Steiny's on a charge, up at a 6th spot at the moment.
Okay, excellent effort there by all of them really, but the top 3 have now got a bit of a gap. Thomas is now defensive from Jimmy Horn, followed by who was that?
Steiny?
Steiny, it was
Yeah.
Steiny. There he is, and there's Sparks, followed by Simon Pace and Johnny Mack, who had his little indiscretion. He's still got a nose on that car. Mako's, here we go.
Butcher again.
Up the inside.
Clean this time.
Wayne Hamilton almost had a bit of an incident there with Lee Porter, who was letting Steve Butcher through.
Forgive us, folks. It's been a long off-season. It's great to be back commentating Formula V for you.
Well, it's also a little confusing. A lot of the cars have got new liveries
exactly
in.
right.
So, Lee Porter's in a new car, and also after a year off.
That's exactly right. Good to have Lee Porter back. Good also to have Kieran Glover back in the state field for this round, of course, competing in the National Series. It's great to see where they stack up against one another, the state guys and the national guys, especially when, the national guys come and play with us here in Goulburn.
That white car going past was Darren Williams. Darren Williams is moved to a Sabre 02, so he's moved out of his trusty Jacer that he's been in for a number of years, and he's actually just taken a little bit of time to get used to it. So here it is. Oh no, that's not it. That's Ray Cripps, I believe. So I'm just trying to see where there he is at the back of the straight there. Darren Williams is just off this lead group here. So the front two have looked the strongest of the two all weekend, really. And Kinsella's just dropping back a couple of car lengths, with Thomas a couple of car lengths further back. Then there's a big group with Horney, Stein, Sparks, Simon Pace, Johnny Mack doing a great job there. And there's Aaron Pace also doing a great job at the back of that field in the ex-Darren Williams Jacer.
That's exactly what I was about to say before you finished your point on Darren Williams. It's great to see Simon Pace
Look at
jumped
those
into
cars
that
together.
car. They're all nice and tightly bunched. This is exactly what we like. Reynolds leads at the moment.
Reynolds has got a car length or three.
Oh, he's got 3 or 4 actually to Glover. He's got 3 to Kinsella. He's got 3 to Thomas. And then it's Horn, Sparkenstein right on his tail, and then Pace as well. Down to turn 10. The run back to the straight. Still line astern. Reynolds opening up his account exactly the way he did last year. He won the opening 2 races last year.
He opened 3 races last year.
Actually, yes. No, well, the opening 3 races of the state championship, but we had the club round before the state championship commenced last year, of course. It was also here at Wakefield Park, and he won the opening 2 there as well. Car off into the pits.
Yeah, it looked like Ray Cripps just went into the pits. He may have some sort of issue. And the other one I saw as well was Curtis Porter down from Queensland running the full New South Wales State Series this year. So good to see Curtis Porter just there with Darren Williams. Thomas having to be pretty defensive there, and Steiny up the inside of Horney.
That was very smart by Stein, using the toe that he could get from Dylan Thomas, of course. Thomas went the inside one, as is so often the case in Formula V in the slipstreaming battle. You hug the inside to make the opponent work hard and go around the outside, and Steiny capitalised on that, used the toe that he could get in the slipstream from Thomas to get passed through on Jimmy Horn, and a good move, and he's up in a 5th spot now and chasing down the top 3.
Okay, and just to note there that the Mako of Johnny Mack is just sort of falling back a bit, and Aaron Pace is getting held up with him. So, Johnny Mack's got a Pace in front of him, a Pace behind him, father and son. Oh, I just think I just saw in the background, was that Steiny going the inside of Thomas?
Yep.
Yes, it was. So, into the last quarter there, Steiny goes up through into 4th. And
He's had a good run, hasn't he?
There you go. Here's Darren Williams and Curtis Porter down from Queensland. So Darren Williams just picked his car up on the way to the circuit. So he hasn't even seen it, let alone driven it, before this weekend.
A terrific performance so far.
And there's Lee Porter in his new car just behind Bernie Cannon, or is that Steve Cannon? So actually painted those cars the same
that's
this
exactly
year.
right. And that's what makes it even more confusing. Great to see
Thomas looking up the inside of Steiny.
Oh, look at this.
Yep,
Someone wanted to go as well, but Thomas will get through on the inside, back to 4th spot. And you get a feeling that these two are going to be fighting like cat and mouse all year long. A really good start to the season.
Horney wants to go
Thomas.
around the outside of 4. Won't
You
happen.
can't do that. Not at this time of the day. Up to the top of the hill. Thomas holds on to 4th, then Stein, then Horn, then Spark, then Pace as they come over the rise and down into the infield once more.
That battle of 7 has turned into a battle of 5, and the front 3 have sort of separated a little bit, although, would you say the Glover's catching a little bit back up, but Kinsella's falling back?
I think that's exactly right. Glover's just closing it on Reynolds, and Kinsella's falling into the clutches of Thomas, Stein, et al. At the moment as they come back to the main straight. It's really going to be interesting to see that Thomas and Stein battle throughout the year. I know Stein, he wasn't happy about race 1.
Well, Thomas went defensive early there. You can see Stein and Thomas were side by side. Here comes Curtis Porter up the inside of Darren Williams. Does it. Easy.
Good move. Great move, actually.
So that's I'm trying to remember whose Jacer that was formerly, but I think that's a pretty recognised car. Here you go. Here's father and son. Oh no, it's not. Jess Bathingway and Okay, so that was Jeff Bathyway and Bernie Cannon, because there was Steve Cannon in the background.
Horn goes to the inside with
Oh,
Thomas.
Thomas,
Will they
how's the
both get
defense?
Stein? No,
No,
Stein goes
Stein
around
goes
the outside.
Long way around.
Oh, brilliant move. That's not the first time he's done that today.
And
Daniel Stein, now take up our son.
Well, we saw that at the start of the straight. You could see that Thomas went defensive early. He mustn't have got out of the last corner very well, because they weren't really line of stern coming out of the corner.
No, they weren't. And you can always tell when the overtaking manoeuvres are going to happen, because they go to the inside fearing that that's exactly what's going to happen. They will make them work as hard as they can for it. And Stein said, no, bugger this. I'm going straight up the outside.
Oh, Craig Sparks looks pretty strong on the back of Jimmy Horn here too. He's looking threatening. Look at that.
He's been a big improver, hasn't he, Spark?
He has. He's actually been awesome all last year. You know, I expect big things from him this year. Needs probably a little bit of late race experience, but that's coming.
Oh, exactly right. Especially in a group like this. Look at it. Stein, Thomas, Horn, Spark. Then you go back to
Johnny Mack is missing that nose. I thought that maybe happened. I mean, it was a couple of years ago where we had 3 or 4 Makos running around. I think there was never a race where a Mako was with a nose. And there's Stevie Butcher starting to catch back up there. At least he's pulled away from this 1200 group. He'll be happy about that.
Yeah, exactly right. Because he's, of course, formerly in a 1200 graduate, of course.
Correct. Well, he's the current 1200 champion. So here's Thomas going defensive again. Stein is staying outside
again. Look at this.
Well, he didn't even go defensive.
Didn't have to.
Well, actually...
Thomas, he got squeezed, really. Stein said...
Stein, he left the door open. There was a little invitation, wasn't there?
That's exactly right, but...
Oh, look at this side of pace around the outside. No, not going to do it there.
Stein said, I'm going to give you the smallest look possible and then chop you off as they go through turn 2. So it's Stein and Thomas, this battle for 4th. Well, it's more compelling than the battle for the outright placing, of course.
Although Kieran Glover has made the gap up. And look at that. Who's that? That's Peter McDonald getting caught by Kinsella. So that's a lap 1200 there. Must have had a little bit of an incident to be getting lapped already at this stage.
Let's see what role lap traffic plays in this race.
Well, actually, Ryan Reynolds is
Glover
about to catch someone else as well. So Kinsella's in no man's land by himself. Thomas is all over the back of Steiny here now. Let's see if he can get the run down the straight here. Oh.
Lap traffic really helped Kieran Glover win the second race, we should point out. He and Ryan Reynolds come up on lap traffic at the same time, and Reynolds was the unlucky victim of it.
Yep, okay, and there comes Wayne Hamilton. He's looking for some improvements out of that car this weekend. I think he's got some. The 1200 battle here is pretty strong as well. Bernie Cannon up the inside of Jeff Bathyway. Great racing between these two. Bernie Cannon, a 2-time 1200 champion. So doing a good job. Steve Cannon there in 3rd. I think Michael Cook is there in 4th. And there comes the leaders, just about to lap the 1200 guys. Jimmy Horn having a look here at Thomas. Is he going to go up the inside? Looks like he will.
Horn to the inside to 5th. Thomas will hold on the outside and they'll go side by side up the hill. Spark might even go with Thomas as well here. He's up on the inside of Horn going into 3. No. Horn will hold on the outside, which is the inside for the top of the hill.
Look at the way.
Look at Spark. Look at there's 3 wide at the top of the hill.
There's no room up there.
Involved in this as well.
And they're still side by side.
Horn holding on for dear life at the moment, but Spark giving him one hell of a fight. That's given Stein a couple of car lengths to hold on over Horn as well.
And look at that. There was I saw Aaron Pace had got through on the Butcher's missing a nose cone as well. Oh no, it's not a nose cone. It's one of his suspension bubbles. So he's just gone through past Curtis Porter and he's all over the back of Darren Williams. A lot of oversteer.
Good save from
Darren
Butcher.
Williams has gone off as well.
Dirt.
I wonder if something was on the track there because Williams went off and Butcher was a lot of opposite locks. So something looked like it went on there. So here's this massive battle here. The 1200 guys are just behind us, so they've all cleared the 1200s. Here we go. So here goes
Reynolds defensive.
Here's Jeff Bathyway. What happened to Bernie Cannon?
Not 100% sure what's happened to Bernie. Excuse me. There's Kinsella.
Okay, so
Thomas and Stein continuing their duel. This is great.
Okay, and Horny was past Thomas a moment ago. So there's Michael Cook getting out of the way by the look of it. Horny just went past Thomas a moment ago. Now he's behind Stein.
You know what it's like, Formula V. Take your eyes off it for a second and it all changes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so here we go. Here comes the leaders going around Lee Porter there. So Lee Porter, and there's Jeff Bathyway, the leader of the 1200s with Kinsella. Thomas followed by Stein, followed by Jimmy Horn, Craig Sparks, Simon Pace. That looks like Michael Cook. So there must only be a couple of laps to go here, I'd imagine. Maybe about 4 laps to go. Actually, I'm trying to remember how many laps this race is.
Yeah, so am
Must
I.
be about
16 laps this one.
16 laps. All right,
From
so Thomas
Wakefield
gone
Park.
defensive there from Steiny.
Right
Look at
up
that.
on the inside of lap traffic, of course. He'll go to the inside. He won't get
Oh,
impeded
that
by
was-
that lap
that
traffic.
was
That's
Bernie
important
Cannon.
to note.
That,
Bernie Cannon, what's happened to Bernie? I'm not sure.
Well, there he was. He was in the group.
He's found his way into the midst of the leaders now and, of course, gone a lap down. But the good thing was they caught him on the straight, which means that he didn't impede them whatsoever.
There you go. Steiny around the outside. Again.
Oh, Steiny gets him on the outside once more.
Again.
That's the second time he's
Sparks
done that
again.
in this race on Thomas. Spark and Horn continue to go side by side. Pace is in there as well.
Okay.
Oh, hold your breath, Australia. This is great stuff. These five battling for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th in the motor race. And they're all trying to catch Michael Kinsella at the moment. But if they keep jockeying for positions, that's not going to happen because Kinsella's just going to keep dragging away, pulling away, I should say, from them.
Well, let's see
If
what
they work together, they
Steiny
might
can
catch
do
him.
now. Because Steiny's come from the back of the field in the race previous. See what
That's
he can
right.
do if he can actually pull the boys. If they stop fighting, maybe they'll all go forward to Kinsella because he seems to be falling off these two at the front here.
He was a man possessed after race 1. He said, I'm going out there and I just want to nail it in race 2. And nail it he did. He worked his way up beautifully through
Oh,
the
look at
field
this.
up into 9th.
Lee
And now,
Porter
of course,
holding out Michael Kinsella. What a fantastic effort there by Lee Porter.
Great stuff from Lee, of course.
Former lap record holder or a current lap record holder in his earlier years.
Oh, Glover had a little bo peep on the inside, but unable
Pretty
to do
tight
anything
here.
just yet. Very tight between these two. Can't be long-lived in the motor race. Look at the battle for third. Kinsella's losing ground. Steiny and Co are catching him at the moment.
And Lee Porter's a threat too. Look at this. Go Lee Porter. Steiny on the inside, looking for the inside of Lee Porter there as well. Couldn't get it done. Has someone fallen off this group or am I imagining it?
No. I don't know why Lee Porter has it. Now he has. He's been shown the blue
Whoa,
flag. It
whoa.
comes at the start of the top of the hill.
Lee Porter
That was
just
Pace
got
trying to
eaten
get
for
past,
breakfast
was
by
it?
the whole field.
Pace and also Spark trying to get past. More cars in the dirt.
That's
Horn
Horny.
over there.
Horny in the dust.
Kicking up some dust at the moment.
And that allowed Simon Pace through, and Sparks is now looking to try and get through as well. On the outside, Sparks at the fishhook. I don't think you're going to go around the long way at the fishhook, are you?
Not the fishhook. That's the toughest corner in Australian motorsport at the moment for Formula V. So I
So
don't
look at
see
this.
them getting that done.
Steiny has taken, and Thomas have got up to Kinsella.
They've worked together. And that's what I said. If they work together, they can catch him. If they don't, he's just going to keep the margin.
Look at this.
Now they come back to the straight once more.
Did you see Steiny up the inside? If you look in the background, Steiny's trying to go the long way around Horny. So Horny sort of seems to be falling off pace at the end of here, or maybe he's still got a bit of dust on his tyres from his little excursion. Here we go. That's Kinsella, followed by Stein and Thomas.
Now, who's going to get the all-important final spot on the podium?
There
That's
you
what
go,
we're
Horny
waiting
up
to
the
see.
inside of Spark there. I saw going into the foreground. So these two have pulled away from that group of five. That leaves Simon Pace pretty much on his own there in, what's that, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And now there's a battle for 6th between Sparks and Horny.
We need to point out very importantly that this is, of course, the 3rd spot on the podium up for grabs in the state round because the national round goes on a cumulative total of the 3 races combined on your points score. So they're only fighting Stein and Thomas and Kinsella. They're only fighting for the podium in the 1600 state championship, not the national championship. If they can, obviously, if they've got the points, if they've got the points and they can hold on, and they have the Steiny may not have the points to get the national podium given his DNF yesterday, but it'll be between Kinsella and Thomas for that one. So I dare say if Thomas can get past Kinsella, it'll be Thomas on the podium, and it'll be Stein on the podium for the outright if he can get past as well, because he leads at the moment. We're on the last lap though.
Start of the last lap. Can Kieran Glover get past? Can Daniel
Steiny
Stein
on the
a long way
outside
ahead?
once more? Why not?
And he's going to hold himself wide here. Thomas can go up the inside.
today.
Oh, he's done it.
Oh, he's done it.
That's the 3rd time around the outside of turn 2.
He's a man possessed
And
today.
Thomas
Daniel
is-
Stein is a man on a mission, and Thomas is trying to go with him at the top of the hill.
Well,
Not yet. Not yet.
And Sparky's got through on Horny as well in the background there, if you see that.
Great work from Spark. He's had a really good run this weekend. Reynolds holding on Glover by a car length at the moment. Stein holds Kinsella and Thomas at bay in the battle for 3rd. What a comeback from Steiny. Racing for a close mate this weekend. He said, I want to go out there and do it for him. But he didn't get the result he wanted. He may still get a podium. Here's the last corner, the run to the line. Ryan Reynolds Thomas on the outside of Kinsella.
Not going to do it that way unless you can do the over and under and get the run to the line. But Kinsella will get the toe from Steiny, so I don't think so. Horny, where's Sparks gone?
I'm not sure. What's happened to Sparky?
There he is there. He must have gone
he's
really
had
wide there.
An off-track excursion on the last lap for Sparky.
Aaron Pace has got past on Johnny Mack as well, so on the last lap he's going to do the job there. Darren Williams has got back past on who's that? Curtis Porter, but I got distracted. Where was Butcher?
State and national round win for Ryan Reynolds.
Is that Butcher there?
He wins race 3. I think it is too. Have a look at this. Kinsella on the inside. Stein on the outside. Stein's going to get it. Can he take Thomas with him? I'm not sure.
I'd say
we'll find out.
I'd say it was Stein, Kinsella, Thomas, followed by Simon Pace, followed by Jimmy Horn, who was behind Craig Sparks leading into the last quarter, so I don't know what happened to him. There he is coming through now in the following position, followed by Lee Porter a lap down, followed by
look at the nose on McDonald.
Johnny Mack and Aaron Pace, but I think Aaron might have still got Johnny Mack there. Followed by Darren Williams, Curtis Porter. There's the lead 1200 of Jeff Bathingway, followed by Michael Cook, but he may be 2 laps down because I suggest looks like Steve Cannon got the nod there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reynolds from Glover, Stein, Kinsella and Thomas, the top 5. So it'll be Reynolds from Glover in the national round and Dylan Thomas in for third. And in the state round, it's Daniel Stein who gets third purely and simply because the state round goes on the last race. Dustin Blake wins the 1200s from Pym, Cannon and McDonald.
Oh, Willie Pym was so strong all weekend too. What an awesome effort by Willie Pym.
Fantastic effort from Pymmy. Round 2 at Sydney Motorsport Park, April 9 and 10. We look forward to your company then.
Okay, so that concludes race 3 at Wakefield Park. Just like to say that we're doing this in memory from our friend Al Harrison, who passed away tragically during the week in the lead up to this with a heart attack. Our thoughts, all the cars are running a little sticky there for Al Harrison. So, we're all racing with a long heart here at Wakefield Park.